My brother's birthday dinner was supposed to be chill. Just family, good food, no drama. But the second I walked into Bella Vita, clutching a bottle of his favorite Chianti, I spotted it. A napkin taped to the wall, the seating plan, scrawled in Harper's handwriting. There I was, Dakota, parked at the odds and ends table by the kitchen with Cousin Brett and Theo from Aunt Linda's side. The Misfit zone. Meanwhile, the middle table, reserved for the real adults. Couples, kids, the perfect families. It hit me hard. 35 years old, senior accountant, holding million-dollar audits together. But because I'm single and child-free, I'm still the outsider. My pulse spiked. Was this the moment I finally said something? What happened next turned that night, and my whole family dynamic upside down. If this family drama rings a bell, hit like and subscribe. There's more twists ahead you won't want to miss. I'm Dakota, 35, crunching numbers at Evergreen Financial in Ballard. It's not glamorous like those Big Four firms, but I've carved out a niche helping small businesses dodge tax pitfalls and streamline their books. 8 years in, I've gone from junior bean counter to senior, with my own roster of clients who actually listen when I talk strategy. Pays for my cozy one bed in Capitol Hill, weekend hikes in the Olympics, and the occasional splurge on faux takeout. No husband, no kids, just me, my tabby Milo, and a life that's mine. But to my family, that's the punchline. They've always treated me like the perpetual kid sister, the one who hasn't figured it out yet. Flashback to when I was 12, at Harper's Sweet 16, her blowing out candles while I got stuck babysitting the little cousins in the basement, munching on leftover pizza while they feasted upstairs. "You're so good with kids, Dakota," Mom had said, like it was a compliment. That sting never faded. It just layered on, year after year, every holiday where my promotions got a "that's nice" while Landon's sales gigs or Harper's Etsy side hustle got toasts and cheers. The private room at Bella Vita buzzed with that fake festive energy, string lights twinkling over tables laden with antipasto platters. The air smelled of basil and red sauce, laughter bubbling from the main table where Mom and Dad chatted with Landon, his arm around Mia as the twins scribbled on menus. Harper spotted me first, her hug quick and perfunctory. "Dakota, you brought wine. Awesome for the grown-ups table." She glanced at the chart, then me, with that pity smile. "We had to juggle seats. Main one's jammed with couples and kiddos. You'll be over there with Brett and Theo, solo squad, right? It'll be a blast like back in the day." A blast? My gut twisted. "You're serious?" I kept my voice low, but the edge crept in. Harper waved it off. "Come on, it's logical. You can keep an eye on things, and honestly, you're aces at lightening the mood. Plus, we need room for Landon's promo talk and my soap sales blowing up. Adult convos, you get it? Adult convos. Layer 1. The casual dismiss. My mind raced. Did she even remember my recent client win that saved a startup from bankruptcy? Nah, that got a thumbs up emoji in the group chat. Layer 2. The pity, like my single status, made me less. I pushed back, inner voice screaming, "Harper, I'm 35 with a career, not some babysitter." She tightened her smile. "Don't overthink it. It's one night." Layer 3, the gaslight, making me feel dramatic. Just last week, I'd wrapped a brutal tax season, then bombed a date with a guy from work. Nice enough, but he droned on about wanting kids ASAP. "You're not getting younger," he'd said, echoing my family's playbook. Why chase that when I had my freedom? I scanned the room, main table gleaming with wine glasses, candles flickering. Ours? Plastic cups, crayon basket, paper mats, like a kiddie zone. Brett doodled absent-mindedly. Theo nodded hello, his recovery fresh but earnest. Mom caught my eye, looked uneasy, but zipped it. Dad scrolled his phone. Landon shrugged. Mia smirked. The escalation hit peak. This wasn't space issues, it was them boxing me out. Fine. I texted Riley. SOS, fake crisis call in 10? Her reply zipped back. Girl on it. Spill the tea later. Sounds like family BS again. Riley's my rock, the real estate whiz who's seen me through every family flop. I set the Chianti on their table, let him have it, then plopped at mine. But inside, the resolve hardened. No blow-up, just ghost. Flagged the server. Separate check for me. Paid for my untouched water and pasta. Tipped big. One last look. They toasted Landon's news. Oblivious. I slipped out, rain pattering on Seattle streets. Freedom tasting sweet. My phone buzzed blocks away. Was it an apology? Nah, Harper. Where'd you disappear to? So rude. The drizzle had picked up as I slid into my car, the Seattle streets slick under the streetlights. My phone kept buzzing in my purse like an angry bee, but I ignored it, cranking up the radio to some grunge throwback, Eddie Vedder wailing about going his own way. Fitting. By the time I pulled into my underground garage, the notifications had piled up like unpaid bills. 12 texts, 3 missed calls. I grabbed a glass of cab from the kitchen, sank into my couch, and finally scrolled through the fallout. First up, Harper at 8:45 p.m. Dakota, where'd you go? We're in the middle of toasts. Then Mom, worried about you, honey. Call back. Landon, what's the deal? You just bail? Harper again, escalating. That was so embarrassing. Everyone's asking where you are. I could picture her, phone in hand, face flushed, trying to play it off to the group. Layer 1 of their mind games. Act confused, like I'd vanished without cause. But I knew better. This was them dodging the real issue, making me the villain for not sticking around to play second fiddle. I didn't reply. Instead, I sipped my wine, staring at the screen as more pinged in. Harper, come on, it's Landon's big night. Don't be selfish. Selfish? That word twisted the knife. Flash back to my 30th birthday 5 years ago. I'd planned a small dinner at a pub in Fremont, invited the whole crew. Harper showed up late, kids in tow, complaining about babysitters. Landon bailed last minute for work. Mom and Dad gifted a card with, "Hope you find your path soon," scrawled inside. Like my stable job and apartment weren't enough. We ate burgers, they left early, and I ended up alone with the check. "You're so independent," Mom had said, as if it excused their half-assed effort. That night, I'd cried in the parking lot, wondering why my milestones always got the short end of the stick while theirs got parades. My inner voice kicked in, a tug-of-war raging. Part of me felt the guilt creep. Maybe I was overreacting, ruining the vibe over seats. "They're family," the soft side whispered. "Suck it up. Apologize. Keep the peace." But the other side, the one fed up after years of this crap, fired back. "No way. You've bent over backward too long. Boundaries now, or they'll never stop." The texts kept coming, layering on the manipulation. "Mom, "Your brother's hurt. We raised you better." Hurt? Where was that concern when they parked me at the rejects table? I dialed Riley instead. She picked up on the second ring, her voice cutting through the static. "Dakota? Spill? What's the emergency? You okay?" I unloaded it all. The seating chart slap, Harper's adult convos dig, the plastic cups versus their wine glasses. They treated me like the hired help, Ree. Again. She whistled low. "Holy crap, that's next level BS. Remember your promo party last year? They barely showed. And now this? Screw that. Don't you dare apologize. This is your line in the sand." Yeah, but the guilt's hitting. Maybe I should have said something instead of ghosting. Nope. Ghosting's the power move here. Let 'em stew. Hey, counterplan, next time they text, hit 'em with radio silence. Or better, send a pic of you living your best life. Show 'em you're done playing small. I laughed, the first real one all night. Riley always had my back, turning rage into strategy. "You're right, no more scraps." We talked another 20 minutes. She dished on her latest house flip-flop. I vented more family dirt, until I felt grounded. Hanging up, I checked the phone again, half hoping for a white flag. Harper's latest. "Dakota, seriously? Mom's upset now. At least text you're safe." Upset? Layer 2. Pull the worry card to guilt trip. Then Landon's follow-up. "Overreact much? It's just seats." Just seats. The escalation peaked with Dad's rare text. Disappointed, family first. Family first, except when it came to respecting me. For a split second, I thought, maybe this is rock bottom. Maybe they'll reflect and apologize. But then Harper's next one lit up. "You're acting like a child. Grow up and come back." The next morning, Sunday, I woke to a Seattle sunrise filtering through my Capitol Hill apartment's blinds, Milo purring on my chest. My phone was a minefield, 38 texts, 5 missed calls, voicemails I didn't touch. Coffee first. I brewed a pot, the rich smell grounding me as I stared at the silent device. No apologies, just more blame from last night's birthday party fiasco. I wasn't ready to dive back into that mess, so I grabbed my jacket and headed to the Wandering Goose, a cozy coffee shop in Pioneer Square where the scones are worth the walk. I was halfway through a blueberry scone, scrolling emails, when a familiar voice cut through the hum of baristas and indie music. "Dakota? No way, it's been ages!" Quinn, an old colleague from my early days at Evergreen Financial, stood there in a sharp blazer, her curly hair pulled back. She was a partner now at Cascade Accounting, a bigger firm with clients from startups to nonprofits. We'd bonded years back over tax season chaos, but I hadn't seen her since she moved firms. "Quinn, you look like you own the place." We hugged, and she slid into the chair across from me. "Still at Evergreen, crunching numbers?" she asked, sipping an oat milk latte. "Yep, senior accountant now, keeping small businesses out of IRS hell." I grinned, but the pride felt hollow after last night. At Evergreen, I managed a solid client list, balanced audits, and even trained newbies. It was steady, paid for my hikes and Milo's fancy cat food, but it wasn't the corner office dream I'd quietly nursed. I wanted more, leading projects, building something bigger. Quinn's eyes lit up. "Nice. Hey, we're expanding at Cascade. Need a lead for our freelance division. Flexible hours, bigger pay, chance to run your own show. You'd kill it. Interested?" My heart skipped. This was the kind of jump I'd been itching for. "Hell yeah, send me the details." "Done." She tapped her phone and an email pinged mine. "Let's grab lunch soon. You're too good to stay stuck." Stuck? The word echoed as I walked home, replaying last night's table slight. Harper's adult convos jab stung worse in daylight. I'd closed a major audit last month, saved a client from a six-figure tax hit, and posted it in the family chat. Response? Harper's emoji, Landon's cool, parents' silence. But at work, my client sent thank you emails. My boss Elaine gave props. Why couldn't my family see that? I flashed to last Thanksgiving when Mom asked if I was still doing that accounting thing while gushing over Landon's new sales title. My work wasn't sexy, but it was damn solid. Why was that never enough? Monday morning, I was at Evergreen, knee-deep in spreadsheets, when Elaine popped by my cubicle. "Dakota, you okay? Your sister called the main line, sounded worried." My cheeks burned. Harper calling my workplace? Mortifying. "Yeah, family drama," I muttered. "Sorry she bothered you." Elaine waved it off, her usual no-nonsense vibe calming me. "Families, huh? Wanna talk? Or about that new lead you mentioned?" I'd hinted at Quinn's offer in passing, testing the waters. I took a breath. "Got an offer from Cascade Accounting. Lead role, better pay. It's a big step. Thoughts?" She leaned against my desk, thoughtful. "You're a rock star here, but you've outgrown this place. Cascade's a great move. I'd hate to lose you, but you deserve it. Go for it." Her support hit hard. More validation in 2 minutes than my family gave in years. We talked logistics, notice period, client handoffs. I felt lighter, like I was finally betting on myself. Back at my desk, I opened Quinn's email. Job description, salary bump, $50K more. And a hybrid setup. It was real. I could build something, maybe even start my own consulting side gig one day. But as I drafted a reply, my phone buzzed. Harper, calling the office line again. My stomach dropped. Was this her finally owning up to last night, or just another round of guilt tripping? Ever been pushed too far by family? Hit like if you're rooting for Dakota, subscribe for more. My phone hadn't stopped buzzing since I left Bella Vita, each ping like a jab to the ribs. By Tuesday evening, curled up on my couch with Milo purring beside me, the group chat was a war zone. Harper's texts started soft but turned sharp. "Dakota, we're worried, but ghosting was low." Then Mom piled on. "Your father and I are disappointed. Family doesn't walk out." Landon's was blunt. "Way to make my birthday about you." Layer 1 of their game plan. Paint me as the selfish one. I sipped my coffee, now cold, and scrolled through the onslaught, each message trying to guilt me back into line. Harper's next one hit deeper. "Remember when you needed us after college? We were there. Be here now." That was layer 2, dredging up old favors to twist the knife. I flashed back to Christmas 3 years ago, my first big holiday as a senior accountant. I'd been so proud, fresh off a promotion, and brought a fancy charcuterie board to the family dinner at Mom and Dad's Kirkland house. I'd spent hours arranging it, artisan cheeses, prosciutto, the works, hoping for a nod. Instead, Harper gushed about her new soap line. Landon bragged about his sales targets, and my board got pushed to the kids' table. "Oh, Dakota, that's cute," Mom said, distracted, while Dad asked if I was still single. My promotion? Not a peep. I'd gone home that night, ate leftover brie alone, and wondered why my wins always felt invisible. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. That old urge to smooth things over tugged hard. Say sorry, keep the peace. But something fiercer pushed back. I'd spent years swallowing their slights, grinning through their "when are you settling down" jabs. No more. I typed into the group chat, I'm fine. Need space to focus on my own stuff. Enjoy the rest of the party. Scent. My heart thumped, half expecting an olive branch. Instead, the chat exploded. Harper. Space? You're acting like a teenager. Mom. This isn't how we raised you. Dad. Rare but cutting. You're letting us all down. Layer 3. Full-on attack, making me the problem. Then Harper called, voicemail popping up when I didn't answer. Dakota, come on, we're family. Don't shut us out over nothing. Nothing? That word burned. I called Riley instead, pacing my apartment as the Seattle skyline twinkled outside. Ry, they're piling on. Texts, calls, guilt trips, the works. She laughed, sharp and knowing. Classic. They can't handle you standing up for yourself. Bet they're freaking out because you didn't beg to come back. Screw that. Counterattack time. Send Landon a belated birthday gift, something small but pointed, like a coffee mug that says "World's Best Brother." Petty, but it'll make them squirm. Test if they're ready to play nice. Petty's my speed right now, I said, grinning despite the knot in my chest. We brainstormed. She suggested a gift card to Bella Vita. But I landed on a sleek whiskey tumbler set, something Landon would love but couldn't ignore. Ordered it online, shipped to his Bellevue house with a note. Happy 40th, Landon. Sorry I missed the toast. Subtle dig, but it felt good. For a moment, I let myself hope. Maybe the gift would spark a real talk, a step toward fixing this. Wednesday morning, package delivered. I waited. Then Landon's text hit. Nice try with the glasses, but you can't buy your way out of being a jerk. My stomach sank. Red herring, thinking a gesture would shift their tune. Harper chimed in. Gifts don't fix walking out. Call Mom, she's a mess. The Cascade accounting office in downtown Seattle was all glass and steel, a far cry from Evergreen's cozy Ballard setup. Thursday morning, I walked in for the interview, my heels clicking on polished floors, portfolio tucked under my arm. The panel, 3 execs in crisp suits, grilled me on tax strategies, client retention, and how I'd handle their freelance division. My nerves buzzed, but I leaned in, pitching a streamlined process for their small business clients. Halfway through, they threw a curveball, a hypothetical client audit gone south, IRS breathing down their neck. My mind flashed to last week's family dinner, Harper's smug, adult convos line. I channeled that sting into focus, outlining a step-by-step fix that saved the client's bacon in my head. The execs nodded, one jotting notes. Impressive, the lead said, her eyes sharp but warm. I walked out feeling like I'd just aced a final exam, my phone buzzing with a confirmation email 2 hours later. The job was mine. Lead accountant, $50K raise, hybrid setup. A real shot to build something big. Back at my Capitol Hill apartment, I poured a celebratory coffee and sank onto the couch, Milo curling up beside me. The high of the offer clashed hard with the family group chat's silence. At work, my clients sent thank you emails. Elaine gave shout-outs in meetings. But my family? Crickets. I thought back to last year's promotion at Evergreen when I'd shared the news at a Sunday barbecue. Harper had scrolled her phone. Landon asked if it came with real money, and Mom changed the subject to her garden. Meanwhile, they'd toasted Landon's new sales gig like he'd invented the internet. My wins were always small potatoes to them, but at Cascade, I'd be running my own show. Why did their approval still nag at me? Friday, I caught Elaine in her office at Evergreen. Got a sec? I asked, closing the door. She leaned back, her usual no BS vibe calming my jitters. What's up? I got the Cascade job, lead accountant, big step up. I'm putting in my 2 weeks. Her face fell, but she nodded. Hate to lose you, Dakota, but you're ready for this. You've been killing it here. Clients rave about you. Cascade's lucky. We hashed out the transition, me promising to wrap my projects clean. Her belief in me hit harder than any family toast ever could. Later, grabbing lunch at the office kitchen, my coworker Nate swung by, all dimples and charm. "Heard you're jumping ship," he said, leaning against the counter. "Big shot now, huh? How about a celebratory drink this weekend?" His flirt was playful, but it echoed the family's "when are you settling down" routine. I laughed it off. Maybe when I'm not drowning in paperwork, but it stung, a reminder of the box everyone kept shoving me into. That evening, I posted on LinkedIn, thrilled to join Cascade Accounting as lead accountant, ready for new challenges and grateful for the opportunity. By bedtime, likes and comments flooded in, old colleagues, clients, even Quinn with a "you're gonna crush it." Family? Not a peep. I refreshed the app, half expecting a "proud of you" from Mom or even Landon. Nothing. Just like when I'd bought my car last year or when I'd hit 5 years at Evergreen. Their silence was louder than any critique. As I climbed into bed, my phone lit up with a text from Harper. "New job, huh?" No congrats, no question mark, just a flat jab, like she was annoyed I'd dared to move up. For a split second, I thought maybe she'd follow with something real, a nod to my win. But the screen stayed blank, and I knew better than to hold my breath. Ever needed a break from family drama? Like and subscribe if you're with Dakota on this. By mid-November, the Seattle chill had settled in, but the family group chat was hotter than a summer barbecue. Harper's "new job, huh" text had been the last straw, a half-hearted jab that cemented my decision. I was done playing nice. Thanksgiving was looming, the big Kirkland gathering at Mom and Dad's, a tradition of turkey, football, and Harper's famous pecan pie. Normally, I'd be there, setting the table, dodging "when are you settling down" questions. Not this year. I opened my laptop, booked a solo weekend in the San Juan Islands, and felt a rush like I'd just cut a leash. A ferry ride, some kayaking, no guilt trips. Sign me up. I texted the family chat. "Skipping Thanksgiving this year. Got plans. Have a good one." Short, sweet, final. Then I muted notifications, poured a glass of Merlot, and waited for the fallout. It didn't take long. My phone lit up like a slot machine. Harper. "Seriously? You're bailing on Thanksgiving?" Landon. "Wow. Nice way to ditch family." Mom. "Dakota, this hurts us. Call me." Dad. Predictably brief. "Not okay." The escalation was textbook. Layer 1. Shock, like I'd betrayed some sacred pact. Layer 2. Guilt, as if my absence ruined their holiday. I could picture Harper at her kitchen island, typing furiously, while Landon grumbled to Mia over coffee. They weren't used to me saying no. I didn't reply. Instead, I packed a duffel, wool socks, hiking boots, a good book, and drove to the Anacortes Ferry Friday morning. The San Juans were magic, mist rolling off the water, cedar trees framing quiet bays. I checked into a cozy cabin on Orcas Island, the kind with a wood stove and a view that screamed freedom. Kayaking Saturday, I glided through glassy waters, a bald eagle circling above. Out here, no one cared if I was married or had kids. I thought back to last Thanksgiving, when I'd spent half the day wrangling Harper's kids while she and Mom swapped recipes. I'd mentioned a big client win at Evergreen, hoping for a nod. Harper had said, "That's great," then pivoted to her Etsy sales. Out on the water, I let that memory sink. This was my life now, mine to define, not theirs to diminish. Sunday, I posted a sunset pic on Instagram, me on a rocky shore, waves lapping, captioned, "Giving thanks for new horizons." Friends flooded the comments. "Gorgeous! Living your best life!" Riley DM'd, "Yas, queen, screw the family noise." My family? Radio silence. No likes, no texts, nothing. Their absence stung, but it also clarified things. They didn't get to dictate my worth anymore. Back at the cabin, I sipped hot cider, scrolling through old photos. One from a family 4th of July hit hard. Me, 25, grinning with Harper's first kid on my shoulders, while the adults toasted Landon's new job. I'd been the fun aunt, the reliable sister, always there to prop them up. Why did that never earn me a seat at their table? The question lingered, heavy but freeing. I was done chasing their approval. Then a notification pinged. Not the group chat, but a DM from Aunt Linda, Mom's younger sister. "Dakota, good for you taking a break. Your family's been too hard on you. Harper's been venting to me. She's jealous, you know. Your freedom, your career. She won't admit it, but it's eating her. Keep shining." My jaw dropped. Harper, jealous? The golden child with the perfect family? Linda's words flipped everything, a crack in the wall I hadn't seen coming. A month into my new gig at Cascade Accounting, I was thrown into the deep end with a $500,000 project for a Seattle tech startup, their books a mess from rapid growth. I dove in, untangling their payroll issues and dodging an IRS audit with a new compliance plan. My boss, Quinn, pulled me aside after a team meeting, her eyes gleaming. "Dakota, you're a damn rock star. That client's singing your praises. Keep this up and you're on partner track." Her words hit like a shot of espresso, pure validation after years of grinding at Evergreen. I walked back to my desk, buzzing, the open plan office humming around me, phones ringing, keyboards clacking. This was my turf now, where my work spoke louder than any family slight. That night I posted on LinkedIn. "Proud to lead a major project at Cascade Accounting. Big win for the team and our client." By morning, the post racked up dozens of likes and comments. Old colleagues chimed in, "Killing it, Dakota," and a client even DM'd, "You saved our ass." Quinn shared it with a, "This is why we hired her." The digital high fives kept coming, each one a reminder of what I'd built. But as I scrolled, my stomach twisted. No notifications from family, not a word from Harper, Landon, Mom, or Dad. Same old story, just like when I'd closed a big audit last year and shared it at Sunday dinner, only to get a "That's nice" from Mom before she pivoted to Harper's new soap scents. At work, I was a linchpin. At home, I was background noise. The contrast gnawed at me. I leaned back in my chair, staring at the Seattle skyline through the office window. Why did I still care? I flashed to a moment at Evergreen, months before the birthday party fiasco. A client had botched their books, and I'd stayed late, fueled by coffee, to fix it before a deadline. When I pulled it off, Elaine had called me indispensable. That night, I'd told Harper over coffee, hoping for a spark of pride. She'd nodded, distracted, then launched into a story about her kids' school play. My wins never stuck with them, but at Cascade, I was building something real, something they couldn't ignore forever. Or could they? The project hit a snag midweek, a last-minute data discrepancy that could have tanked our timeline. My mind flicked to the birthday party, that kid's table insult. I'd stayed calm then, walked away clean. Same deal here. I rallied the team, cross-checked records, and caught a misfiled expense report just in time. The fix wasn't just numbers. It was me proving I could handle pressure without buckling, a lesson I'd learned from years of biting my tongue at family gatherings. Friday evening, I refreshed LinkedIn again, half hoping for a belated family comment. Nothing. Just Harper's text from last week. That flat, "new job, huh?" still sitting unanswered in my inbox. Then, as I packed up to leave the office, my phone rang. Mom's name on the screen. My pulse spiked. Was this it? The apology I'd been waiting for? Or just another lecture about family first? The Christmas invite hit the family group chat in early December, Mom's annual summons to Kirkland for ham, carols, and Harper's spiked eggnog. Normally, I'd be packing a sweater and forcing a smile, ready to dodge their still single jabs while passing the mashed potatoes. Not this time. After the birthday party snub and their radio silence on my Cascade accounting win, I was done. Riley had invited me to her family's Christmas in Tacoma, and it felt like a lifeline. I texted the group, "Not making it this year, spending Christmas with friends, happy holidays." Then I muted the chat, heart pounding like I'd just jumped off a cliff. The backlash came fast. Harper, "You're skipping Christmas? For what, strangers?" Landon, "Real classy, Dakota. Family's not good enough now?" Mom, "This is breaking my heart. Call me." Dad, "Unacceptable." The escalation was instant. Shock to guilt to outright attack, like I'd personally canceled the holiday. Harper's next one dug deep. "We've always included you, even when you pull this." Included? Like shoving me at the kids' table with crayons? I didn't bite, just packed my bag for Tacoma, feeling lighter with every mile south on I-5. Riley's family home was a warm chaos of twinkle lights, a lopsided tree, and the smell of cinnamon rolls baking. Her parents, Ellen and Mike, greeted me like I'd been coming for years. "Dakota, get in here, you're freezing," Ellen said, pulling me into a hug. No pity, no side-eye about my single status, just a plate of cookies and a seat by the fire. Riley's cousins swapped stories about bad dates and work drama, treating me like one of their own. We played cards, laughed until my sides hurt, and for once I wasn't the odd one out. Ellen asked about my new job at Cascade, actually listening as I described the big project I'd nailed. "That's incredible," she said, eyes wide. "You're running the show." The warmth in her voice hit me hard. When had my family ever sounded like that? Later, Ellen handed me a small gift wrapped in red paper. Inside was a leather-bound planner, a note tucked in. "For your next big chapter, Dakota, keep shining." My throat tightened. I flashed to last Christmas, when Mom gifted me a cookbook for when you start a family, while Harper got a spa voucher for all her hard work. Ellen's gift wasn't just a planner. It was proof I was seen, not as a project to fix, but as me. Sitting there, surrounded by Riley's loud, messy, welcoming crew, I realized family didn't have to mean blood. It meant people who showed up, no strings attached. Back in my guest room, I stared at the planner, tracing its edges. What made a family real? Not shared DNA, but respect, presence. My family's group chat had gone quiet since their initial outburst. No apologies, just resentment. I'd spent years chasing their approval, but here, with Riley's folks, I didn't have to. It felt like freedom, but also a quiet ache for what I'd hoped my family could be. Then my phone rang. Tom, Harper's husband. My pulse spiked. He never called. Was this the olive branch I'd stopped expecting? Dakota, he said, voice low. I need to be straight with you. Harper's been off since the party. She's jealous. Your job, your freedom. She won't say it, but it's eaten her. We messed up that night. My jaw dropped. Harper, jealous? The perfect sister with the perfect life? His words flipped the script, leaving me wondering what she'd say next. Think apologies can fix family drama? Like and subscribe to see how this unfolds. It was early January, the Seattle rain drumming against my apartment window as I sipped coffee, still buzzing from the Christmas glow at Riley's family's place. Tom's call had thrown me. Harper, jealous? The idea lingered like a song stuck in my head. Then, Monday night, my phone pinged with a text from her. Dakota, I'm sorry if the birthday party upset you. Can we talk? That if hit like a paper cut. Layer 1 of her playbook, the half apology that dodged accountability. I'd seen it before, like when she forgot to invite me to her kid's first birthday, then texted, sorry if you felt left out. My jaw tightened. No more skating by. I typed back, slow and deliberate. Harper, I don't need an if apology. You stuck me at the kids' table, treated me like I'm less because I'm single. If you're sorry, own it. I'm listening. My thumb hovered over send, heart racing. Was I too harsh? No. Years of swallowing their slights said I wasn't. Sent. I braced for pushback, expecting her usual, don't be dramatic reply. Instead, an hour later, another text. You're right. I screwed up, Dakota. I've been jealous. Your career, your freedom, no kids tying you down. I made you feel small, and I'm sorry. Call me. My breath caught. Harper admitting jealousy? The sister who had it all, husband, kids, the family's golden halo, envious of me? It was raw, unguarded, nothing like her usual polished deflections. Layer 2 cracked open, real remorse, not manipulation. I called her, pacing my living room, Milo watching from the couch. Hey, she answered, voice shaky. Thanks for calling. I meant it. I've been a jerk. Seeing you thrive at Cascade, living your life, it hit me hard. I'm stuck in mom mode, and I took it out on you. I swallowed, memories flooding back, us as kids, sneaking cookies in her room, giggling over boy band posters. She'd been my hero then, helping with math homework, braiding my hair. When did we become this? Harper, I just wanted to be seen, I said. I'm not less because I don't have your life. That table thing, it wasn't just seats. It was years of feeling like I don't measure up. I know, she said, voice breaking. I leaned into that and it was wrong. Tom called me out too. Can we start over? We talked for an hour, peeling back layers, her stress, my hurt, the gap between us. It wasn't perfect, but it was honest, the first real talk in years. I felt a spark of hope, like we might rebuild something. Lying in bed later, I stared at the ceiling, Milo purring beside me. Could we really fix this? I wanted to believe it, but trust was shaky. Harper's words felt real, but I'd been burned before. Family dinners where I'd open up, only to get brushed off. I'd keep my guard up, let her approve it. Boundaries weren't just words. They were my armor now. Tuesday morning, as I sipped coffee before heading to Cascade, my phone rang. Mom. My pulse spiked. Was this her stepping up, ready to own their part in the birthday mess, or just another lecture about family first? I let it ring, thumb frozen, not ready to find out. Mid-January, I was knee-deep in Cascade Accounting's latest project when my phone buzzed with an unexpected caller ID. Bella Vita. The restaurant manager's voice was polite but clipped. Ms. Dakota, about the bill from your brother's birthday party. There's an outstanding balance. Your sister listed you as a contact. My stomach dropped. The night I'd walked out, I'd paid for my water and uneaten pasta, tipped generously, and thought I was clear. Now they were chasing me for the rest? I gripped the phone, keeping my cool. I settled my share that night. The rest is on Harper. She organized it. Try her. I hung up, fuming. They'd stuck me at the kids' table, and now I was supposed to foot their bill? Classic. The family group chat lit up within hours. Harper. Dakota, you told the restaurant to bill me? That's low. Landon. Real nice bailing on the tab after bailing on us. Mom. This isn't right. We're family. Pay your part. Layer 1 of their mind game. Frame me as the deadbeat. I could picture Harper at her kitchen counter rallying the troops while Landon nodded along, still salty about my whiskey tumbler gift. My fingers itched to fire back, but I waited, letting the anger settle. Layer 2 came fast. Harper's follow-up. You know we're stretched with the kids. You've got no dependents. Help out. The guilt trip, right on cue. I flashed to last 4th of July, when I'd hosted a barbecue at my place, spent a fortune on ribs and craft beer. Harper's family ate, left early, and didn't chip in a dime. You're so good at hosting, Mom had said, like that excused their freeloading. Now they wanted me to cover their ossobuco and wine? No chance. I typed, I paid my share at Bella Vita. I was at the side table, remember? Harper, you set it up. Handle it. Sent. My heart pounded, but it felt right, like slamming a door they kept prying open. The chat erupted. Harper, you're making this about seats? So petty. Landon, always playing the victim. Dad, this isn't how we do things. Layer 3, full attack, painting me as the problem. I didn't budge. Then, a day later, Harper texted Solo. Fine, I paid most of the bill. Shouldn't have assumed you'd cover it. My bad. My jaw dropped. Harper admitting fault? That was new. I replied, thanks for handling it. Let's move on. Short but firm, keeping my boundary. A week later, Landon called, catching me off guard as I walked home through Capitol Hill's drizzle. Dakota, I owe you an apology, he said, voice low. I was a jerk about the party, the bill, all of it. I've been hard on you, and Mia too, honestly. Therapy's making me see I've been putting people in boxes. You're killing it, and I didn't give you credit. I stopped dead on the sidewalk, stunned. Landon, in therapy, admitting he'd dismissed not just me but his own wife. It was raw, real, like a crack in his usual bravado. "Thanks, Landon," I said, throat tight. "That means something." We talked briefly. He shared a bit about his sessions. I mentioned my Cascade project. It wasn't a full fix, but it was a start. Then, as I unlocked my apartment door, my phone pinged with a text from Mom. "Dakota, can we talk soon? I miss you." My pulse spiked. Was this her finally stepping up, ready to own her part in this mess, or just another family-first lecture waiting to drop? By late February, I was riding a high at Cascade Accounting. Quinn pulled me into her office one rainy morning, the Seattle skyline gray behind her. "Dakota, you're killing it," she said, leaning forward. "The board's eyeing you for partner track. Your work on that startup project sealed it. Keep this up. You're in." Partner track? My heart did a cartwheel. This wasn't just a job anymore. It was my empire. I posted on LinkedIn that night. Honored to be considered for partner at Cascade Accounting, grateful for the team and the grind. The post blew up. Clients, colleagues, even my old boss Elaine chimed in. "Knew you'd soar." Quinn commented, "Our star." I grinned at my phone, Milo purring on my lap, but a familiar pang hit. My family's silence was deafening, just like always. Then something shifted. Harper liked the post. Landon commented, "Impressive, sis." Mom, "So proud." Dad, "Well done." I stared at the screen, coffee going cold. After months of their indifference, my job switch, my project win, my holiday opt-outs, they finally showed up. It felt like too little, too late. I flashed to the birthday party, that kids' table insult, their group chat attacks. Their proud now felt like a consolation prize, not a real win. I didn't need their likes to know my worth, not anymore. At work, I was neck deep in a new project, a retail chain with a payroll mess that could have tanked their expansion. A glitch in their tax filings popped up midweek, threatening a penalty. My gut clenched, but I leaned on the same grit that got me through family slights. I stayed late, Quinn dropping by with coffee. "You got this," she said, her confidence a lifeline. "Run it like you did last time." We dug in, traced the error to a misclassified contractor, and fixed it by dawn. The client sent a thank you email, and the local business journal ran a blurb. "Dakota's leadership saves the day." I framed it, hung it in my office, a quiet middle finger to every family, "That's nice," I'd ever gotten. Harper texted me a week later, her tone softer than usual. "Hey, Tom and I are planning our 10-year anniversary party. Want to help organize? Miss having you around." I paused, thumb hovering. This wasn't just an invite. It was an olive branch, a chance to rebuild what we'd lost. We met at a Capitol Hill cafe, rain pattering outside, and pored over menus and venues. She laughed, reminiscing about our old prank wars as kids, sneaking extra whipped cream on Dad's pie. "I've missed this," she said, eyes genuine. I nodded, feeling the old sisterly spark flicker back, but I kept my guard up. Trust was earned now. Later, alone in my apartment, I sat with Milo, staring at that framed article. My family's comments on LinkedIn lingered, but they didn't define me. I thought back to every milestone they'd brushed off: promotions, my first car, my solo hikes. Each time I'd craved their nod, but now I'd built a life that roared louder than their silence ever could. Cascade saw me, Quinn saw me, Riley's family saw me. I didn't need my family's applause to know I was enough. I'd proven it to myself. Spring hit Seattle like a promise, cherry blossoms popping along the streets as I pulled up to Harper's 10-year anniversary party at a waterfront venue in Bellevue. The place was decked out, twinkle lights, long tables with white linens, a band playing soft jazz. I'd helped plan it, picking the caterer and arguing with Harper over shrimp versus sliders. Walking in, I felt a flicker of the old days, us as kids, plotting pranks, not this distant version of sisters. Harper spotted me, her smile wide, and pulled me into a hug, real this time, not her usual quick squeeze. "Dakota, you nailed the vibe," she said, gesturing at the setup. We laughed, clinking glasses of sparkling cider, and for the first time in years, I felt like her sister, not her shadow. Tom joined us, raising a toast to family, messy but worth it. I caught Harper's eye and we nodded, a quiet truce. Halfway through the night, Mom found me by the dessert table, her face softer than I'd seen in months. "Dakota," she started, voice low, "I owe you an apology. We didn't see you, your work, your life. That party was a mistake, and I let it happen. I'm sorry." Her eyes glistened, and I froze, the weight of her words sinking in. Mom? Admitting fault? I'd braced for another lecture, but this was raw, unguarded. "Thanks," I said, throat tight. "It hurt, but I'm glad you see it now." We hugged, awkward but real, a crack in the wall we'd built. A week later, I was set to speak at a regional accounting conference in downtown Seattle, presenting on tax strategies for startups. I stood backstage, heart pounding, practicing my opener. The room was packed, colleagues, clients, industry folks. Then I spotted Mom in the third row, clutching a program, her face all pride. I nearly dropped my notes. She'd never come to anything like this. Not my college graduation, not my work events. When I took the stage, I nailed the talk, weaving in how my family's dismissal had fueled my grit. The crowd clapped, some standing, and Mom was on her feet, beaming. Afterward, she hugged me tight. "You were incredible," she said, voice thick. "I should have been here sooner." That moment, her showing up, was worth more than 1,000 group chat prouds. Back at my Capitol Hill apartment, life felt full. Work was a whirlwind, leading projects at Cascade, mentoring new hires, eyeing that partner track. Weekends meant hikes in the Cascades, brunches with Riley, and even a few dates, no pressure to settle down. I'd traded family dinners for game nights with friends who saw me, not some checklist version of me. Milo still ruled the couch, my constant through it all. Looking back, that birthday party at Bella Vita was the spark. It wasn't just a bad night, it was the push I needed to demand respect, not just from them, but from myself. I'd spent years chasing their approval, dimming my light to fit their mold. No more. Walking out, setting boundaries, building my own path, that's what changed everything. I learned my worth isn't tied to their applause. It's in the life I've carved, the people who show up, the work that lights me up. If Dakota's journey moved you, comment your thoughts, share with friends, and subscribe for the next story on our channel.